Welcome dear students. In this video I am going to explain you the measures of dispersion and calculation of one of the measure of dispersion, that is standard deviation. So in this video you will came to know what are the measures of dispersion, what is the meaning of dispersion, how we measure the dispersion. So let us start. Let us begin with the meaning of dispersion. Dispersion is actually the degree of scatter, or we can say variations of the variables about a central value. When we talk about dispersion, you might have read about the dispersion of light in class 10th and class 9th also. And dispersion of light is scattering of light into different colors. When the beam of light falls on a prism, it scatters in different colors. And likewise, when we talk about dispersion here, it is the degree of scatteredness. It is the spread of observations from a central value, from a central observation. And when we talk about the dispersion, higher the value of this measure of dispersion, it indicates that data are closely clustered. Mean is less dispersion, and when there is less dispersion, that means mean is representative of the data, because we measure the dispersion from the central value, from the mean. And second, a large measure of dispersion indicates that mean is not reliable, that is your central value does not represent the data, whole data. As per the Bowley, dispersion is a measure of variation of items. Items here means observations. Is the measure of variations. When we talk about different items in a series, when we talk about different items, how much they vary from one another, how much they vary from mean value, a central value. That is the dispersion. And dispersion is also known as scatter. It is also known as spread or variation. So these are the other names of dispersion. We are having different measures of dispersion, but before that you should know what does dispersion mean. If you are going to calculate dispersion, what are the methods of dispersion, and before that you should know what dispersion is. And we are having, when we talk about dispersion, we are having absolute dispersion and relative dispersion. Absolute dispersion, when dispersion is expressed in same units in which data is expressed. When we talk about, for example, if we are having data of weight of students of class 11, then here kg is the unit. If that dispersion is expressed in the same units like kg, then that is absolute dispersion. So when the dispersion is measured in the same units in which data, in which observations are measured, that is known as absolute dispersion. And when we talk about a relative dispersion, it is the dispersion when it is measured, when it is expressed in ratios or percentage. If it is expressed in percentage, like when we talk about say literacy rate, actually we measure data in terms of say in terms of number of people who are literate and who are illiterate. But at the end, when we measure, we take it percentage. For example, let us take a simple example of say district Udhampur. Let's assume that the literacy rate is 68%, overall J&K it is 68. So let us assume that it is 68% here in Udhampur. And when we talk about, when we compare the literacy rate of say Udhampur city and the village, there is difference, there will be difference. It will be higher in city and less lower in village. But we measure number of people, but in when we give the figures, we give in percentage. There is 80%, 85% literacy rate in Udhampur city, and when we talk about village, it is 50%, 50% literacy rate. So here the variation from the central value, the average value, that is 68%. So here we measure in terms of percentage, that is relative measure of dispersion. You can see this flow chart. Absolute measure is expressed in the same units in which data is expressed. Example, rupees, kgs, liters, kilometers, these are the units. And when we talk about the relative dispersion, in this in the form of, it is measured in the form of ratio or percentage. So is independent of units, and it is also called as coefficient of dispersion. Coefficient of dispersion is relative measure of dispersion. Now let us talk about measures of dispersion. As I already told you, we are having absolute dispersion and we are having relative dispersion as well. So measures of absolute dispersion are range, quartile deviation, mean deviation and standard deviation. And measures of relative dispersion are coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, coefficient of mean deviation and coefficient of standard deviation. These are the measures of relative dispersion. As your syllabus is concerned, you are having only standard deviation in your syllabus this year. Last year all these measures were in your syllabus, but due to this COVID pandemic, these three, range, quartile deviation, mean deviation, has been deleted. Now you are having only one, that is standard deviation. But when we talk about range and quartile deviation, these two are not based on all the values of, or all the observations of the series, all the observations of the data, we can say. Range and quartile deviation are not based on all the observations of a series. This does not include all the observations. Mean deviation and standard deviation, these include all the observations of all the items in the series, all the items in the data, we can say. But in case of mean deviation, there is a drawback that it does not include minus sign, negative sign. It ignores minus sign. So when we measure the deviations from the mean, when we measure the deviations from the central value, and at that time in mean deviation we ignore negative sign. So we take them as positive without any logic. So to overcome that problem, we are having standard deviation. To eliminate those negative signs or minus signs, we scale the deviations to eliminate those negative signs. So the other measures, that is relative dispersion measures, those are coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation, and coefficient of mean deviation and standard deviation. So these are the measures. So in your syllabus you are not having coefficient of range, coefficient of quartile deviation and coefficient of mean deviation. But range is actually the difference between higher value and lower value, higher observation and lower observation. If you are having a question, you will find the highest observation, then you will subtract from the lower observation, then you will get the range. Quartile deviation, as I already told you when we talk about, when we solve questions on, say, partition value, quartile, decile and percentile. A quartile is that value which divides a series into 4 equal parts. Then you are having 4 quartile, Q1, Q2, Q3 and Q4. So your quartile deviation, it is Q3 minus Q1, third quartile minus first quartile divided by 2, that is quartile deviation. Remember this thing. And Q3 minus Q1 only, it is interquartile range, and half of the interquartile range is quartile deviation. Then mean deviation, we take the deviation from the mean, deviation of the observations from the mean. We can calculate mean deviation by median also, central value. So then we calculate, and your mean deviation, it is summation of modulus of deviation. Modulus of deviation means we ignore minus sign, divided by number of observations, then you will get the mean deviation. Okay, so these are the 3 methods which are not in your syllabus this year, but standard deviation is in your syllabus. Let me show you what is standard deviation and how we can solve the questions based on standard deviation. Now standard deviation, it is introduced by Karl Pearson in 1983. It is square root of arithmetic mean of square of the deviation from the arithmetic mean. Remember this thing. It is square root of arithmetic mean of the square of the deviation from the arithmetic mean. So that is why it is also known as root mean square deviation. You can see we calculate mean, summation of sum of observations divided by number of observations. You can see sum of observations here it is sum of deviations divided by number of observations and square of the deviations. Here you can see it is square there, and it is denoted by sigma. It is denoted by sigma, and its computation is based on all the observations, as I already told you. It is the most widely useful measure of dispersion and calculated from arithmetic mean. It is calculated from arithmetic mean. So we measure standard deviation. We measure this deviation from the arithmetic mean, not median, not mode. Now, how to calculate standard deviation? Like you calculated mean, median, mode in different types of series. You are having individual series, discrete series, and continuous series as well. Say you are having two methods: actual mean method. In this method, first you have to calculate mean, then you have to measure the deviations, then you have to take the square of the deviations, then you will get the standard deviation. Assumed mean method, here we assume mean, and then we measure the deviations from assumed mean, then we square those deviations, then calculate the sum of the deviations, then use it in formula, then we will get standard deviation. Same as in case of discrete series: actual mean method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. In continuous series: actual mean method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. So we are having three methods, that is actual mean, or we can say direct method, assumed mean, or we can say shortcut method, or step deviation. Now you can see the formulas which are used in the calculation of standard deviation in different types of series. As you know, we are having individual series, discrete series, and continuous series as well. In case of individual series, we are having actual mean method. So the formula is under root of summation of x minus x bar. X bar here it is mean. So we measure deviation from actual mean. That is why it is known as actual mean method. Or you can write it as under root of summation of dx square divided by n, where dx is x minus x bar. And in assumed mean method, we take assumed mean a, and we measure the deviation from assumed mean x minus a, and standard deviation is equal to under root of summation of dx square divided by n minus summation of dx divided by n whole square, where x minus a, where dx is equal to x minus a. Remember this thing, this dx is deviation from assumed mean, deviation of observations from assumed mean. In discrete series, in which frequency is associated to the items, actual mean method, standard deviation is equal to under root of summation of f dx square divided by n, where dx square is equal where dx is equal to x minus a, deviation from assumed mean, which I already told you, and assumed where dx is equal to x minus x bar. In case of actual mean method, it is x minus x bar. And assumed mean method formula is under root of summation of f dx square divided by n minus summation of f dx divided by n whole square, and where dx is equal to x minus a, assumed mean method. And step deviation method. Step deviation method is possible when you are able to take a common value, then you can use this method. If you can't take any common value, then you cannot use this method. Okay, so here it is under root of summation of f dx dash square divided by n minus summation of f dx dash divided by n whole square into c. But this c is common, and dx dash is x minus a divided by c. Remember this thing. And in case of continuous series, actual mean method, it is under root of summation of f dx square divided by n, where dx is equal to x minus x bar. And assumed mean method, under root of summation of f dx square divided by n minus summation of f dx divided by n whole square, where this dx is equal to x minus a, assumed mean. And in step deviation method, you have to take the common value, then only you can use this under root of summation of f dx dash square divided by n minus summation of f dx dash divided by n whole square into c, where the c is common value, and dx dash is x minus a divided by c. Remember this thing, x minus a divided by c. Let us calculate standard deviation in case of individual series now. Question here is calculate standard deviation for the following data, and the data is series is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40, 55, and you have to calculate standard deviation. As I already told you, we are having two methods in case of individual series: actual mean method and assumed mean method. In actual mean method, we have to calculate mean first. So let us calculate mean. X bar is equal to summation of x divided by n, and summation sum of these observations, it is 200. So number of observations is 8. 200 divided by 8 is 25. Then standard deviation, SD, it is under root of summation of dx square divided by n. So for dx square, first you have to calculate dx, deviation from mean. So the second step is you have to calculate dx, and we know x bar it is 25. So dx is equal to x minus x bar. X is 5. 5 minus 25 is minus 20. 10 minus 25 is minus 15. 15 minus 25 is minus 10. 20 minus 25 is minus 5. 25 minus 25 is 0. 30 minus 25 5. 40 minus 25 15. And 55 minus 25 is 30. So this is your deviation. These are the deviations. Now dx square, square of the deviation. To eliminate this minus sign, negative sign, we square these deviations. Then it is 20 into 2400, 15 into 15 225, 10 into 10 100, 5 into 5 25, and same 5 into 5 25, 15 into, after squaring the deviations, you will find out the sum of the square of the deviation. Sum of the square of the summation of dx square. It is, so after calculating the sum, it is 1900. Then you will put these values in the formula as the standard deviation is equal to under root of summation of dx square divided by n. That is under root of 1900 divided by 8, and which is equal to under root of 237.5, and your standard deviation, it is 15.4 in this case. Now let us solve one more question based on assumed mean method. Now the question is, you are asked to calculate standard deviation, and the series is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You can see in the right panel, you can see the series. Now in case of assumed mean method, you have to select, you have to assume a mean. A is assumed mean. Let us assume A is equal to 20. A is equal to 20. Then you have to measure the deviations. Here we have written di, that stands for the deviation. Then x minus A. Here x is 5. 5 minus 20 is minus 15. 10 minus 20 minus 10. 15 minus 20 minus 5. 20 minus 20 is 0. 25 minus 25. 30 minus 10 is 20. 35 minus 15 is 35 minus 20 it is 15, and 40 minus 20 is 20. So these are the deviations. Now here you can, there is possibility of taking 5 as a common. In every deviation, each and every deviation is divisible of 5. So you can take 5 as common. Okay, so you can see d dash. We can talk about, say, d dash. D dash is x minus a divided by c, and c here is 5. 15 divided by 5, which is equal to 3. 10 divided by 5 is 2. So we have taken 5 as common. So this is step deviation method here. Now square these deviations. Square of the deviations: 3 into 3 9, 2 into 2 4, 1 into 1 1, 0, 1, 4, 9, and 4 into 4 16. And summation of the deviations, it is 44. Okay, summation of the deviations, it is 44, and you can see summation of the square of the deviation is 44. Summation of the deviation is this 4. Now you can put these values in the formula. So it is here 44 divided by n is 8 minus 4 divided by 8 square into 5. 5 is common value. So when you are taking common, then you have to multiply the formula by that common value, which is equal to 44 divided by 8 is 11 by 2, minus 4 by 8 is 1 by 4, 4 by 8 is 1 by 2, and square of this is 1 by 4 into 5. At 11 by 2 it is 5.5, minus 1 by 4 is 0.25 into 5. And then when you will solve this, it will be 2.29 into 5, and sigma is roughly equal to 11.45. This is how you will solve this individual series with the help of step deviation method. You can use step deviation method, or you can use this second panel. It shows calculation of standard deviation by using assumed mean method. And in assumed mean method, you can go for this step deviation method as well to simplify your calculations. Because if you are taking square of 15, it will be 2 to 5. But after taking the common value, it is 3. Square of 3 it is 9. So you will minimize your calculation. That is why we use step deviation method. Now let us see how to calculate standard deviation in case of discrete series. Here question is, find out standard deviation and coefficient of variation from the following. So we will find standard deviation only. Here the x values observation are 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, and frequency is 6, 12, 18, 26, 16, 10 and 8. So the first step is, you have to, let us do it by assumed mean method. You have to assume a mean, and let that assumed mean it is 18, a is equal to 18. The first step is to check the deviation from assumed mean. So it is 12 minus 18, x minus a. 12 minus 8 is minus 6, then minus 4, minus 2, 0, 2, 4 and 6. Then you have to square the deviation to eliminate the negative sign, minus sign. 6 into 6, 36, 4 into 4, 4 square 16, 2 square 4, 0, 0, 2 square 4, 4 square it is 16, and 6 square it is 36. Then what you have to do? F, frequency multiplied by the deviations, dx. 6 into minus 6 minus 36, 4 into minus 4 minus 48, then it is minus 36, 0, 32, 40 and 48. This f dx is f into dx. You have to multiply f column, frequency column with the deviation column, dx column. Then one more step, you have to calculate f dx square, that is f multiplied by dx square, square of the deviations, that is f column and dx square column. So 6 into 36, 216, then it is 129, 72, 0, 64, 160, 228. And summation of f dx square, it is 992. And summation of f, that is n, is equal to 96. And summation of f dx, that is equal to 0. And you know standard deviation is equal to under root of summation of f dx square divided by n minus summation of f dx divided by n whole square. And you can substitute the values. And here 0 divided by 96, it is 0. So 992 divided by 96, it is 10.33. So under root of 10.33 is 3.21. Now if you are going to calculate this coefficient of standard deviation, then you have to calculate mean, and then SD divided by x bar, that is coefficient of standard deviation. This is how you can calculate the standard deviation in case of this series. Now look how to calculate this standard deviation in case of continuous series. When you are having series in class interval, that is continuous series. Let us do it with actual mean first. Standard deviation, actual mean, then we will go for the assumed mean. Here you can see actual mean. Here when you are going to calculate mean, you have to find out n, that is summation of f, that is 100, and fm. First you have to calculate the midpoints. 0 plus 10 divided by 2, that is 5. 10 plus 20 divided by 2, that is 15. That is the midpoint. 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. These are the midpoints. Frequency is given, then you have to calculate fm and summation of fm. Then you will that will be your mean. X bar is equal to summation of fm divided by n. Summation of fm is 3640. This column you can sum. You can take the add summation 3640 divided by divided by 100, that is your mean. So here your mean is 36.40, 36.4. Your mean is 36.4. Now what you have to calculate? You have to calculate standard deviation from the actual mean. Then first step is check the deviations. Here x is equal to deviation from mean, which is equal to m minus x bar. M is 5 minus 30, 5 minus 36.4, it is 31.4. Then minus 21.4, minus 11.4, minus 1.4, 8.6, 18.6, 28.6. Here you have to do midpoints minus mean. So you will find out this column. Then you have to square the deviation x square. 31.4 into 31.4, 985.96. 21.4 into 21.4 square, it is 457.96. 11.4 square, it is 129.96. 1.4 square, 1.96. 8.6 square, 73.96. 18.6 square, it is 348.96. and 28.6 square, this one 817.96. Then fx, f multiplied by x, x here it is m minus x bar, that is x is here the deviation. F column 1 into 31.4 minus 31.4, 4 into 21.4, 17 into minus 11.4, 45 into minus 1.4, 26 into 8.6, 5 into 18.6, 2 into 28.6. And you will get this fx column. Then fx square, f multiplied by the square of the deviations. You can see the square of the deviations, that is 1 into 985.96, 4 into 457.96, 17 into 129.96, 45 into 1.96, 26 into 73.96, 5 into 345.96, 2 into 817.96. You will get the fx square. So this is the reason we use assumed mean method, because here your mean is in fractions, 36.4 decimal number. So in the calculation, to calculate the deviation, it is difficult to calculate the deviations, then square of the deviation, then multiplication of frequency and deviation, then multiplication of the frequency and square of the deviation. So you will get all the numbers in fraction form. So it will make your question tough, and your to make it easy and to make your calculation easy, we are using assumed mean method. So here we can calculate Sg is equal to under root of summation of fx square divided by n, and summation of fx square, fx here fx x is here deviation, square of the deviations, which in earlier question you can take it dx x, but you should know this is deviation from mean. So under root of 10404 divided by 100, that is 104.04, and standard deviation is 10.2. This is how we solve this method, this question by actual mean method. Now let us solve this question by assumed mean method. You can see this assumed mean method. Taking assumed, let us assume that a is equal to 35. So here when we assume a is equal to 35, so we eliminate this these fractions. So first is you have to calculate dx. After calculation of midpoints, you have to calculate dx. Dx is m minus a. So 5 minus 35, that is minus 30. 15 minus 35 minus 20. 25 minus 35 minus 10. 0, 10, 20 and 30. Then f dx. F into dx. Frequency column multiplied by 1 into 30, 4 into 20, 17 into minus 10, 45 into 0, 26 into 10, 5 into 20, 2 into 30. You will get f dx. Then f dx square. This is f dx into dx. Then it will become f dx square. You need not to square the f dx. F dx को आप square नहीं करना. It is f dx into dx. You can do it like this. F dx into dx, that is minus 30 into minus 30, minus 80 into minus 20, not minus 80 into minus 80. It is not like that, minus 80 into minus 80. It is minus 80 into minus 20, minus 170 into minus 10, 0 into 0, 260 into 10, 100 into 20, 60 into 30. So you will get f dx square. So up to this step, this is your assumed mean method. Up to this step, you can use the formula standard deviation is under root of summation of f dx square divided by n minus summation of f dx divided by n whole square. And you can solve this question. You can substitute the values of these which you have already done. F dx square. You have to take the summation and substitute in this formula. Then you will get your standard deviation under root of 104.04, that is 10.2. Now you can see this red box. There are when you are going to use the step deviation method. How you will use step deviation method? Let us see. After the calculation of dx, you have to calculate dx dash. What is the dx dash? Dx divided by c. C is common. If there is possibility of taking a common value, then you can go for the step deviation method. It is 30, 20, 10, 0, 10, 20, 30. So these all are the divisibles of 10. So you can take 10 as a common. So when you are taking 10 as a common, so dx dash, it is equal to dx divided by 10. So when you take 10 common from 30, it will remain 3. 3 into 10, 30. 20 में से 10 common करोगे, it will be 2. 2 into 10, it is 20. Then minus 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. Then f dx dash, what is that? F multiplied by dx dash. F is 1, dx dash is minus 3, 1 into minus 3, minus 3, 4 into minus 2, it is 8, 17 into minus 1, minus 17, 45 into 0, 0, 26 into 1, 26, 5 into 2, 10, 2 into 3, it is 6. Then f dx dash into dx dash, it is f dx dash into dx dash, 3 into minus 3, 9, 8, minus 8 into minus 2, it is 16, minus 17 into minus 1, it is 17, and 0 into 0, it is 0, 1 into 26, 26, 2 into 10 is 20, and 3 into 6 it is 18. And then you have to use the step deviation formula, which is SD is equal to under root of summation of f dx dash square divided by n minus summation of f dx dash divided by n whole square into c. Then you have to multiply that c is 10 here. Then you will get the answer. And there is one more example, you can see this. So this is the example of calculation of standard deviation in case of continuous series. How we can calculate standard deviation in case of continuous series? It is like we have calculated earlier, but here we are denoting deviations by di. Di are the deviations. F di, these are the di here. It is a deviation, that is x minus a. Remember, di here it is x minus a. F dx, f d square is f d into d, not f d into f d. It is f d into d. Then it will become f d square. So you have to remember these things. Okay. So this is how you can calculate standard deviation in case of continuous series. So I hope you will be able to calculate standard deviation in different types of series by using different methods like actual mean method and we are having assumed mean method or step deviation method. If you are having any if you are facing any problem in the calculation of standard deviation, if you are having any doubt, you can clear your doubts. Okay, and thank you very much.